rule here. I'll have this recorded and sent to you as well, so you can go back and watch again if you like to. Okay.
Cool.
Platinum hit scan, yeah?
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
diamond right now, but
Diamond, nice, nice.
but
Congrats on that.
barely, but
Yeah, but still,
barely.
that's still well done. Congrats. Do you have any questions about practice schedule or anything else that may otherwise not come up?
Yeah. So, I tore my ACL and meniscus
Ouch.
recently.
Ouch.
Um, yeah, playing pickup basketball, very unfortunate. But I'm kind of like, or have been more, stuck in the house and doing less like active stuff. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
trying to get back into Overwatch. Season 7, I peaked Masters 3
Sure.
playing like pretty much exclusively Soldier Tracer,
Sure.
and I'm just trying to get back to where I was just to like prove that I can do it. Um, but I'm trying to and trying to exclusively play like hit scan again. And I was just wondering like what I'm trying to get like 5-ish games a day right now
Mm-hmm.
in if I
Mm-hmm.
can.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't really been the case like this week, but
Sure.
I'm gonna try to do that like next season, I think.
Yeah.
And do you think that's like appropriate?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably fine for you to continue to progress from where you're at. I do think that like hitting Masters season 7, season 8, season 4, or whatever probably wasn't that much of an accomplishment. No offense, because of the way that the rank
All good.
discrepancy was.
Yeah.
So the reason I say that is it's not like, oh shoot, I'm so much worse. What am I doing wrong? It's like you're probably. I had a lot of conversations like these actually recently, where you're probably actually
Mm,
close in skill level to where you were then. So
yeah.
to continue to progress from where you're at right now, 5 games a day, even if you don't, I mean, I would say if you're able to do that consistently for any period of time with full focus, full intention, knowing what you're supposed to be working on, then yes, you can absolutely progress with that. Will you get to Grandmaster with that?
Gotcha.
Probably not, but you can definitely climb through the diamond ranks depending on how things go.
Hmm.
Um, you also say in your forum here discussing you want to do a better job of VOD reviewing yourself. We'll talk about maybe how
Yeah.
you can do that and what are some things that you can look at once we actually get into the replay viewer. Any other questions
Gotcha.
about anything else before we jump in here?
Um, like specific questions about gameplay, but nothing really about like playing,
Okay,
practicing. So
sounds good. So let's get the code pulled up here, and then I'll see what you have to say or what questions you have about gameplay.
got you. Um, 1 second. I'm just putting in the Discord.
Works for me. Why this code in particular?
Um, because we lost one, and two, I'm trying to play um a lot of Tracer exclusively
Mm-hmm.
to try
Mm-hmm.
to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely switched off like really early in the beginning, but I had a specific question about the beginning of the game
Yep. Talk
about
me through it.
like off angles and like like what to do if they have more people on this like blank, and
Yeah.
how to get value if like you can't really progress or like
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
value in off angles.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I mean, I think it's actually one of the more difficult, easy, weird dynamics here because it's really easy when you're uncontested on an angle as tracer to just immediately access backline or play really any position you want. But what makes it hard is also what makes it easy when it is contested. So I assume at some point here we're going to get contested. Yeah, so right here. But see, you have to kind of realize that the fact that you're being contested really simplifies your thought process because if you look at it from their perspective, they're putting a lot of resources into doing damage from this angle. And if you
Hmm.
keep them busy without dying, that is an unbelievably frustrating thing for that angle, right? Like that's two
Yeah.
resources and they're just getting stonewalled. So in a way, it's harder because you have to be on your toes. You make one mistake, you're
Hmm.
dead, right? But
Yeah.
it's easier because you don't really have to go, oh, well, now there's a lot of responsibility in me to pop off. No, you just have to keep them busy. That's it.
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
just
if
hard, I think, for me to identify that like I'm actually doing anything by keeping them busy.
But
It's
that
like,
it's always useful though. It's always useful
yeah,
as long as it's more than one person. If it's one person, you would like to win that duel by either killing them, forcing them out, or forcing them to demand healing resource, right? But if you
mhm,
turn this corner and this is a 2v1 and consistently a 2v1, then that is immediately should be positive reinforcement for you. At least
yeah,
mentally, like I'm doing the right thing here. Now, you don't always have to do that. Like if, for example, you go here and you're like, well, actually, I want to pulse swamp something, so I'm going to flank all the way around behind and just skip that. That's okay. You don't have to mark them. Let's say that this was a map where it actually had 2 lanes here, maybe a different map entirely, and you chose, okay, well, I'm not going to fight that. I'm going to go and take an angle here and go for backline. That's okay as well. Your choice. But don't feel as
gotcha.
if you're not doing something, because if you're contesting a 2v1, as long as your team isn't in spawn, it's useful. It's
Okay.
always useful. So like this is fine-ish. And it's just a question of how long can I keep their attention without dying. And as you
Yeah.
kind of saw, it's not very long. But the question is, was that because I'm in the wrong position? Am I playing it wrong? Let's let you coach yourself here. If you have more confidence that keeping these guys busy is a good play, then how would you do it?
I probably take a wider off angle on their angle, so like maybe go more toward the left side if
So
there's
like
like
here?
anywhere to play, like here, yeah, like near the
Mm-hmm.
doors or something, and
Mm-hmm.
like just
Mm-hmm.
try to annoy them because I also often find this happening too a lot with Tracer where I'm on an off angle, someone forces me out, and then I use all my resources, and then the only where left to blink is main, and then I blink main and die. So
Very, very perceptive. I 100% agree. Like, even your response to end up back here pretty much sucked. Now, you did end up trying to retake it, but yeah, that sucked. I agree with you. Recognize the 2v1, and you need to, but it's not so much that where you started, but how you actually played that position was poor. Like right here,
mhm,
this is pointless, right? It's not that shooting
yeah,
tank is bad, but it's just that the tank is so incredibly far away. You might as
yeah,
well just
like it
ignore it and
doesn't matter.
focus on winning whatever you're at, right?
Mhm.
100%. Obviously blinking here as well, right? Like blinking into all, like you need every blink that you can have for this
Yeah.
engagement, right? So you do dodge here, but obviously it's not as efficient as we would like. And then ultimately, like we end up getting cleared. Now we can go back, but you're completely passive
Yeah,
despite having full HP and 3 blinks. Now you can't play as aggressively as you did before because of recall.
because the
Is that why
recall,
you're being
yeah,
so hesitant here?
for sure.
But there
Yeah,
has to be a scale of pressure,
yeah.
right? It
I
can't be
think
either
also
off or
like
on. Go ahead.
the reason I'm like shooting the tank earlier, it's like I'm trying to find value. I realize like there's it's pointless, so I go to fight the off angle, and like after I do, I don't know. I just feel like I play like too scared when I don't have the resources, specifically as Tracer, just because like the HP is so low. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
more like vulnerable when I don't have cooldowns.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's
but
good. Like, I think there's an opposite extreme where I'm working with like a plat or diamond tracer, and they're basically playing as if they have recall all the time when they don't, and they die a lot for it, right? But then this is the
yeah,
more the opposite extreme, at least in this particular fight, where you have good angle, good cover, good blinks, health, information, and yet you're fully AFK, fully AFK.
yeah.
It needs to be a gradient. It needs to be a spectrum. Like I have recall blinks, so I'm willing to take a 2v1 here, even if I know I won't win it. I
Mhm.
lose those resources, I disengage, and then I can take a more conservative approach while I'm waiting for that recall. But you can't
Yeah,
fully check out, like very rarely, unless you're like rotating to a better position. Like if you weren't doing anything because you were rotating to go for backline, okay, sure, you don't have to, but that's fine. But you are really truly doing nothing, and your Doomfist is paying for that. You kind of see what
yeah.
I'm saying? And then now, okay, a recall's here,
Mhm.
but the damage has been done. Not only do we screw up the 1v1, but we also, our Widow's already dead. Our Doomfist is already out of
Right.
position. And then a recall gets forced out immediately anyway. So I want you
Yeah.
to have more of a gradient, more of a spectrum with how you're playing without resources,
Mhm.
and have more confidence in that if it is a 2v1, it's okay, I'm still contributing while I'm there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, we swap off of Tracer, we go Cassidy. Do you want to look at the Cassidy?
Yeah. We might as well
Okay,
just look
sounds
at
good.
that
So
for
we'll
the
just
rest,
kind
I
of
think.
shelve that concept for the Tracer just for further notice. You'll need to explore that further. So how to self-review that? Here's what I want you to focus on with self-review moving forward. Am I respecting 2v1s or am I running away from them? You understand?
Yeah.
Respecting as in I'm giving them the respect, the attention, the resources they deserve, but I understand that I don't have to avoid them entirely. I just have to play them differently. Am I still providing pressure when I can do so without recall, or am I completely AFKing? And maybe the opposite is true. Maybe we go in the opposite direction where we try to do too much without recall. We go too aggressively, right? Like, where am I providing an appropriate amount of pressure depending on the status of my resources? And so you may not be perfect at reading that, but you need to start trying. And so when you self-review Tracer, those are the two things I want you to focus on. Respect to 2v1s, or 3v1s or 4v1s, right? And then how is my pressure, how is my proactivity looking like depending on the status of my blinks and recall. Sound good?
Gotcha. Yep.
And you can kind of just keep an eye on those things. So you can actually just look at a couple of fights and just look at those things, and then 5-10 minutes, and then that's it. Don't need to sweat it more.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions here before we keep going here?
I don't know if it's related to like the previous gameplay that we just watched, but also I think like how to not feel, or not necessarily like play scared, but like I feel like I let people push me off angles a little too easily.
Okay.
When I'm playing like characters like Tracer. And it's just like identifying situations where I like should give the angle or just should contest it. And I guess it's like kind of similar to what we talked about. So
it's basically this. It's basically the same, right? Like when you got pushed off of the off angle with Cassidy Mercy, we can look at how you initially set up the angle. Could have been better. You coached yourself on that. You blinked into a wall. That was obviously bad as well. But you did need to give it up, right? You did need to give it up. But the crucial thing that you did was you actually retook that angle. You notice that you went right back. Now you AFK'd. That was a mistake. But you got bullied out, but they earned it. But that means that you shouldn't give up entirely. You should just go and try again, and to go try again, and go try again. Basically, the rule with mobility is that you it's okay to lose a 1v1, but you just don't want to die. So you lose a 1v1, go try it again, and go try it again, and go try it again. And it's so annoying for that Cassidy Mercy, because if that Cassidy Mercy had their way, if we go back all the way here, they would have just uncontested walked to here and killed people.
Right.
But they didn't do that, and you stopped them from doing that. Even though you did it imperfectly, that was good. So keep that up. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of what I want to see more from you. So it's okay to lose an angle if they're putting resources into clearing you out, but then don't just go, well, I guess that's it. I'm living in my backline now. No, just go try it again. Make them clear you again. Make them clear you out again, because them clearing you out is value for your team. Nice shots. Good stuff. This position's pretty good here. Excellent angle. Good little bit of, I mean, the fall off change for Cassidy was huge, right? So like you actually have decent mid range pressure, right? Yeah, push the angle here. I also think Cassidy will feel very, better than Tracer for large chunks of this map, just because there aren't as many angle choices. I think, especially like the first fight, like there really is only that one angle, and so that can make you a bit predictable. But nice shots. Good use of your space as well. And this is like a perfect example here. Like, let's say that you don't get pocketed. You don't have to win the 2v1 here. You just have to keep it from running your team over, essentially.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is a 2v2. So what that means is it's a 2v2, so you just play it like it's a 1v1, right? Really, really, truly, like, how would you approach this Cassidy in a 1v1? So if we look at the details here, I don't mind you walking forward, but you do need to be very careful about how far you are from cover here. So you hinder quickly, and my guy gets he gets absolutely smoked. But maybe I would have rolled a little sooner there, right? Just to juke his shot, even at the expense of my reload later. Okay, sure, it's fine. And she dies for it. Not a whole lot to say there. I don't know what the plan was there, but okay, sure. Okay, Bob's dead. There it is. Okay. Attack here is really tricky. Obviously, you don't have a lot of space, so you're going to have to be creative. You can either play really passively on an angle here and punish tank, or you could be a little bit more aggressive and do something more flanky here. Your choice, but just commit. I don't like where we're at right now, because it kind of feels like the worst of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
A little in the open. Good punish on the ball, though. We'll just zoom, because they're kind of getting smoked here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like actual fights going on.
Yeah, that's
Stagger,
fine.
stagger,
Okay,
post, stagger,
Widow falls going way too early. Dies immediately. We'll just zoom here again. This angle's good. Good use of cover, avoiding that Widow's sightlines. Or, sorry. I think that's obviously your Widow here. Fans here is fine. No problem. And then this is kind of like, in a weird way, this is a small snapshot of what you did earlier in Tracer. This is resources, a lot of resources put into clearing you out. You see this? So you can't stand here and you can't stand here and ego this, right? You need to give up this space. You need to roll away and live. What do? You roll away and you live. You break bubble. Okay, but they can't do that forever. So then he has to leave, so then you go right back again, right? All that resource, this Winston is kind of useless, right? So you go back, and now this angle is free. And it's really important that you recognize that it's free, and maybe even quicker than you did, right? Because, and now, to be honest with you, like, this is not exactly something that you're expecting to happen all the time. So, it happens. But at the same time, like, you, if anything, could have gotten back here sooner to punish the fact that it was uncontested. One other little detail as well, I've noticed it twice now. Don't greed your Hinder. Just use it.
Yeah.
It's the time to kill is the same, right? It doesn't slow down your shots really. So just throw it.
Just throw it there.
Just throw it. Just bam, bam, bam. Like turn the corner, shoot Hinder, shoot, and she's dead. It's just really important that you do that. Now, if you want to hold it for a very specific target, maybe, but really more often than not, just win the 1v1. So okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty reasonable fight from you, all things considered. Couple of fights. This is a little unfortunate here. Now, I'm curious, what perk do you usually roll with? Get it? With Cassidy?
Definitely always the noon perk on the first one, just because the other one just feels weird to use.
Yep.
And I kind of like using it as a zoning ult because it's not a good ult. So I feel like I get a lot of value out of that.
Sure.
I did the headshot one for a while, and then I realized that it is kind of a trap. And
I agree,
also,
actually.
and the double nade thing is a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's kind of free real estate.
Is really good.
Yeah, it's kind of free real estate. The other one is like the number of situations where it's actually useful is pretty low. Because roll feels like a very situational cooldown and not one that you're kind of brain dead spamming.
Just spamming,
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I actually can't take even credit for that. It was one of my students that convinced me of it about 3 weeks ago, and I actually realized that he was right, because it's like, he basically looked at like a lot of pro Cassidys. It's like the number of times where the roll perk actually mattered was like twice, and the number of situations where the Hinder perk would have actually like gotten a kill or won a 1v1 was like dozens, essentially. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. This just feels a little early. I know you're following your doom, but you kind of need to let him go first, if anything, and really don't want to be in the open. Now, I appreciate you going into the room, and I think you play the roll, Hinder, and the headshots here really well. Like, good job, but that felt a little, oh, I'm getting Mercy Pocket, I can do whatever I want, kind of at the moment. And I don't want to see that usually.
So you prefer I just delay a little bit and let my
just delay. Just hold the corner here. Just hold the corner. Burn the bubble and then walk forward afterwards. Yeah, probably just a little bit more respect there.
Yeah.
Sure. It's weird. The thing with
more value to hold it.
No, not that. What I'm wondering here is if it's more important for you to be lethal here directly and less so.
Oh, I see.
You get what I'm saying? Like the thing, well, here's what High Noon does. High Noon provides 3 things, okay? It provides damage reduction, usually at the expense, it's burst damage reduction, right? Because if you think about it, you probably are opening yourself up to a lot more direct damage here, the longer you hold it especially, right? The second thing that it does is AoE pressure, which again, doesn't feel as relevant here. And that's because the third thing, and probably the most important thing that High Noon does, is it gives you range. Right now, that's just not relevant.
Yeah, everybody's kind of playing an angle where they're in my lethal range, so
Pretty
I
much,
could just
right?
walk up or
Pretty
like
much,
play the
right?
stairs.
So
Yeah.
it's weird. It's a weird ult, but I find the most important thing that influences my high noon usage is range, right? And where you're at right now, it just doesn't make sense for you to use it. It's not that it's worthless. I'm not even sure that it's bad. I just don't know if it's good because of where you were. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
I do.
So
Or,
probably
yeah,
would
sorry.
prefer you to just be a little bit sneaky here, hide, rat, see if you can bait Winston, disengage. I think your chances of actually getting a kill are probably a lot higher than what this is. This isn't a bad use
Yeah.
of it. I actually think when you pulled it was fine. Like breaking bubble there, that's fine. You could have held it there, but I think it's honestly fine to do what you did. But obviously, like you can kind of even see where it puts you. It's really uncomfortable. Yay. Good. Yeah, it's totally worth it.
Yeah, I think I was also thinking about like the rotation being bad, so I kind of want to like walk myself out of the room
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was thinking like if I go left, it's gonna take too long, and if I go up, I'm peeking three. So
But see, to me, you've made your bed. You need to lie in it. You need to stay here. Like you need to basically be a rat, a gank, and don't forget you can also just go out this way too. Like people forget about that now. Like that's new in this map.
yeah.
So I kind of understand what you're saying, but the irony is that you rotate out and and you're still stuck in the wall. Like
Yeah,
you
I'm
didn't
still
even
stuck.
you didn't even get out to here either. So just
Yeah.
something to consider. Okay. Just shoot the Winston. Yep. No primal, so it's fine. Oh dear. Good. Okay, let's keep going here. I want to see you on left really badly. There's a real question
Yeah.
of why you're on right here. I don't know if it's because you're avoiding, maybe you have information on left, but this is not a good range for you, even with the change, right? You need to stay here and mark and pressure here or here or here or here, right?
yeah,
Just basically based off of what the map gives you. There you go. Sure. Blow it. Thank you. That's where the double hinder would have been nice. Obviously, you chose the wrong perk, but we've already talked about it. It's fine. Good shots. That's
Oh wow,
She's crazy, man.
she was out here. Yeah.
Wait, you did. Wait. Does your Mercy not have res? Oh, she canceled it. Oh no, she went for the Doom. Wait, why? Why? Okay, I'm sorry. We might have to kind of. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Okay, maybe it doesn't matter. Either way, get fricked, bud.
I feel like on push maps, maybe my positioning sometimes is worse just because I feel more attached to cart because I feel like in a lot of these games, like when the other team wins, they just get like more objective value than us. Like in this map, they're like so ridiculously far, and I feel like they haven't won that many more fights.
Well, the crucial thing is that
If-
there
if
were a
one.
lot. You guys haven't really had any clean fight wins at all. Like it's been even this one that you just had, right? You just won the fight, but then you got traded, and so your team's taking a 4v5, right, instead of a
Yeah.
clean 5v5. What I would do with push, and I think the most challenging aspect of push is actually knowing where the fight's going to happen because the objective is dynamic. So here, as the robot is pushing forward, you know they've all respawned. You need to know, okay, yeah, this fight's happening in neutral space, right? And so that's why you being on robot is so stupid, is because you should obviously know the fight's happening somewhere
It's gonna
here.
happen in-
So I need to
yeah.
have faith. So that's really the most important skill for you. It's actually not so hard in Colosseo, but it can be hard in like Runasapi, Esperanza, right? Where is the fight going to happen? Okay, so then where should I take my angle as a result? And I think that's what you screwed up here is like it felt as if you didn't know that, but really you should know. You have all the information that you should
Yeah.
have, that you need, excuse me, to be able to make that decision. So, okay. Like even here, right? Like, okay, no, scratching your nose moment, right? So like this here, you know that you guys have kind of won the fight, but you see the robot moving back. So you can predict that there's somebody on robot, or I can go help my Doomfist here. You go for the latter, that's fine. But that's you paying attention to what's going on, right? Like there's somebody here, so this is still winnable. I hear Nano, so I'm gonna harass and pressure from here. This is fine. It's range. Is it perfect? I don't know, but it's range.
I mean, there's not a lot of fighting. Well, it depends on what my Doom does.
I don't know.
but-
Like I actually like this more than the last one. because of the fact that you have some help with your Doomfist, and this is doing something that you otherwise couldn't do. That's the crucial thing, right? Like if you just shot here, you just wouldn't do that much, even after the patch. So this is really, really, really scary for them. And like, I mean, you and I both know it. Like, I mean, that's dumb, right, for her. Yeah. But also, that was really close to like a 1K or a 2K in saving your Doomfist's life. He actually screwed up. He had his ultimate and he screwed up. Like this could have been huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just get hindered, right? You literally could have almost 2v4'd backline there with that combo right there. That would have been sick. So, intention, very good. Totally fine with it. Just run. I think this fight's lost. I'll probably just peace out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is fine. You're gonna die on card. It's okay. Again, with the roll, use it earlier, close the distance. Good use of hinder. Thank you. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, that makes sense. Especially where the fight is going to happen on push thing, I think is really important for me to think about in the future.
Okay. Same thing kind of here, right? Like this is
okay. Like what my main?
Well, I mean, maybe because where's your team here? Your team's not main.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess it's like kind of an off angle.
It is kind of an off angle, right?
Be focused on the Doom on the left.
It's kind of an off angle, and the Winston's actually close here. Whereas before, the Winston was a million miles away, and you're peeking an Ashe at 35 meters, right? So I still think this is okay here. Like this would have been like kind of going through here would have been good too, but this is okay for now. Yep. See, that's the response that we want, right? That's exactly what we want. And then from here,
you get a jumping bubble.
Then from here, you get to make a choice. Do I want to continue to lean right? Or do I want to sneak in left? I wouldn't sit here AFK, but yeah, you have options. Sure. Nice shots. Sure. Yeah, honestly, you needed to get here sooner, but it was just an awkward fight from your team's perspective because you guys didn't get any value out of your ultimates, and then they used two. Not terrible. Not terrible. Range. Yes. Again, you see the range there, right? Every time that you've got value with this, it's been because they're just not expecting it to snipe. Yeah, it's been ranged, right? So that's super unfortunate. Okay, I was going to say no way you lose this because that would suck. Okay. Nice. Good shots. Winston goes flying. And, you know, I assume that you guys probably lose this, but in this particular situation here, all you really need are 2 fight wins, and you potentially can win this. 2 at most 3, because they're going to get OT spawn after this fight here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wow, that's a crazy death.
Well, it just feels like your brain's just checked out again, right? So, like, your supports have their monitors turned off, which is really unfortunate. I don't even know what your... Oh, your Mercy's AFK. That's what's happening.
Oh.
Wait, what?
What? Maybe she wants her to flank.
I don't know. That's definitely. I'm a when in doubt, report that, and to be honest with you. But I guess here's my point. It's like you shouldn't have died here. But again, you know where this fight's going to happen, right? Why are you here?
It's the same situation with Ashe. Why are you here? It's like I can't do anything.
Right. This is your job. It's your job because this is your effective range, right? If you're a Widow, then yeah, I'm parking myself on this angle, like right here, right? But like for crying out loud, this is your space. Take this space, right? So you keep putting yourself in positions that don't make sense for you, and end up dying to people from that position and getting shot from a million miles away. So, main things for you with Cassidy here. Well, you tell me. What are some things? We've talked about where is the fight going to break out on push. That's a good skill for anything, but especially on dynamic objective. What else?
Yeah. Understanding where I get value in the fight, or like a mix between like my effective range and then like I guess like who I should be marking, or like what angle I should be controlling.
True. That plays to your effective range, and that applies to really all hit scans, right? Talk to me through your hinder as well. Like obviously we talked a little bit about the perk, but what else?
Using it earlier. Yeah.
In duels, just use it. Just boom, like combo it.
Yeah.
Using High Noon, leveraging it more for range, and you can even do that in your pre-fight setup. Like for example, if you have High Noon here, maybe you don't want to do this here. Maybe you're instead going to kind of sit here and then use your Noon to zone this entire lane here because, you know, you have high noon, right? So
Mhm.
that allows you to change the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? I think those are the main points. Does anything else come to mind with Cassidy?
Um, no, I think that's it.
I think that was mostly it. Okay, do you have any questions in general? Anything that maybe we didn't touch on in the call?
Um, I don't think so. Not any extra. The
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sure. If